The next creature we're going to talk about is that of the Invisible Stalker. These unseen magical assassins appear to be just like kind of made out of air. They're very elusive and kind of like pass around unseen, and they're actually capable of like controlling powerful winds, so they can like blow objects over and even batter enemies. Many magic users actually just cast them or conjure them, whichever you prefer, in order to serve them as killers and thieves. So, if you want to go ahead and get objects, stolen, these guys at it, and you have the capability to cast them, you could probably use one of them. In rare cases, sometimes they actually linger without a spellcaster's control, and sometimes they actually like just go on their own thing, or they resume whatever command they previously got. So we're also going to go ahead and look at their stat block and how you can probably use them in your campaigns. So first off, we can go ahead and see that invisible stalkers are elementals. So keep that in mind. They are also neutral. They have 14 AC, 97 hit points, 50-foot movement, 50-foot flying. They are CR6, so they are quite powerful. Imagine summoning a CR6 to steal an object, though. It's kind of funny. But hey, who knows? They also have Air Form, which is pretty dang powerful, because they can just go through cracks and all that different stuff. And they also just have that constant visibility on. They also just have a multi-attack, like a wind swipe, that does an average of 11 damage, not bad. Force damage, so not many creatures have immunity to that. They also just have a vortex ability, which causes a constitution saving throw, so if your players don't let you hit them, like they have an insane AC of like 30 or something like that, just use the saving throws, by the way. That's the best way around it, because it does base damage regardless. So it does a D8 plus 3 thunder damage, which is actually kind of a rare damage for a creature to have, and it caused grappled condition. And a creature actually can't use verbal components while this happens, and they just take more thunder damage at the start of each of their turns, which is kind of crazy. That's actually really strong because that means they can't. I believe Misty Step requires a verbal component, so they would be able to do that. So, guys, when using your campaign, again, I mentioned some of the different ways you could use them. You can use them as a magic caster or just assassin. So, maybe if the party pissed off a mage or something like that, you can have one of these guys show up, and or multiple, to take out the party. I would say maybe I would probably say level 5 is the lowest I'd go to throw one of these guys, just because of that CR6 and the like being invisible gives disadvantage and all that different stuff. Anyway, kind of crazy, kind of cool. Use them in your campaign.